Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Mexico Grand Prix weekend. Things were not great for us in the United States last time out, hoping for a response here today if possible. Mexico's a track that is difficult to set up for. You obviously want straight line speed for that monstrous start-finish straight, but then that middle sector quite a bit of downforce, and finding the middle ground so that you're competitive in the middle sector and don't lose too much time and risk losing the back end and ending up in a wall, but at the same time having not too much wing so that you can actually overtake people in a straight line and don't just sit like a duck down the straight. It's really quite difficult to find the right setup, and in general you kind of lean one way or the other rather than trying to find a hybrid. In Creator Series I used to go with a hybrid that worked quite well, and Career Mode I don't know as I've ever really been able to figure out which one works best against the AI. The AI are always really strong in a straight line though, so that gives you an idea of perhaps which way you should go. It's very tight in certain areas in the championship, i.e. between third and fourth, and I'm trying to cling on to the coattails of Max Verstappen and Lando Norris. I would love to finish at least inside the top 3 in the Drivers' Championship this year. Of course, we have not had great results in the last few, just steadily getting worse. But in Mexico, I think we DNF'd last year, didn't we? We did indeed DNF in Mexico. But look at that end to the season last year. Win, second in the last 3 Grand Prix. If I could do that again, then surely we put ourselves in with a shout of getting into the top 3. Because Max Verstappen has not been getting good results recently, or not Max Verstappen-esque results recently. And Lando has been very good, but last time out in the United States, he had significant car issues in both the sprint and the main Grand Prix. We weren't quite able to match him for pace in either session, but he's definitely catchable if things go our way in the final 4 rounds of the championship. There is, of course, a sprint race in Qatar as well. Fully dry, thankfully, so we don't need to worry about anything in terms of the weather. It should just be a straightforward, dry tyre race, which is good news for me, because it's tricky enough at times in that stadium section for traction at the best of times, let alone when it's raining. So I'm going to go and whack in some practice. Actually, whilst doing this recording, got the final Grand Prix of real life about to start above me as well, and I'll be pausing my recording to go and watch that. So, Chris, you will have about 2 hours of a different screen of me just watching the telly. So feel free to skip forward in the editing. The soft tyres don't last that long. Look, 97 laps the hard tyre lasts, and only 1.3 seconds slower than the soft that only lasts for 26. It is absolutely a medium hard or a medium hard race. You can absolutely one stop here. It's a 71 lap race, and quite frankly the softs aren't worth anything other than qualifying, so we will probably only be using them for qualifying. Do drop the video a like if you're enjoying the save and looking forward to more. Subscribe to the channel and you won't miss out on any of it. There is, I think by the time you see this, a discussion going on as to what's happening with the FC content here on the second channel, so do check the latest episode of The Player Career to leave me your feedback in the comment section and vote on the vote that's in that video, because I need your feedback, please. Thanks. Okay, I'm going to go practice and then watch the Grand Prix and then qualify for the Grand Prix and do the Grand Prix. All right? Grand Prix. All potential resource points garnered and will be added to the kitty. That kitty will extend us a little bit more in terms of improving the car for next year for Ferrari. Obviously, we're anticipating not being at Ferrari in Season 4, so we're probably making things harder for us next year by making the Ferrari as good now, or as prepared with the regulation changes now as they will be for next season. All of the aero stuff is done, and most of the chassis stuff is now done as well. So the chassis, I need about 1,200 more resource points, and the car will be fully prepared for next season. They currently have the best chassis on the grid, Ferrari, albeit slightly better than Mercedes and Aston Martin and McLaren, a bit better than Red Bulls. I can't check, unfortunately, the situation of any of the other parts comparatively, because I can't go on to any of the upgrades to actually show it, annoyingly. But regardless, Ferrari's car is pretty good. We will put fresh bits in, or fresher bits. In fact, for Mexico, I might well put put brand new bits in, or as close to brand new as we've got for this particular Grand Prix, because it's quite the power circuit. And, well, we're going to need as much power as we possibly can to try and fight and earn the potential of a podium, at least here in Mexico, to qualifying then for the Mexico Grand Prix. God, I hate the stadium section. Across the line in a 1:13.1, which is good enough for currently P5. Now, I headed out before everybody else there, so as I return to garage, the session has 3 seconds in it left, and I'm currently still 5th. I dropped to about 8th there, I think, but still very much inside the top 10 for this Q1 session. It was indeed 8th. Oh, George went and did a 12.7 to go on top of his 12.9. I definitely lost a bit of time, maybe a 10th in the final sector, but it wasn't a bad lap. A 13.192, 4 tenths off at the moment. There's time to find, but not enough to get myself pole, that's for sure. Daniel Ricciardo, Nico Hulkenberg, Carlos Sainz in the Haas out in P18. That's a surprise. Both Saubers on the back row of the grid. Into Q2 we go. We have found about a second on the deltas, which we think we need. A 1:12.8 is a good lap. It's probably top 5. It is top 5. It's 5th, but it's still top 5. It counts. If they take another step in terms of their pace in the next session, I don't know as I'm going to be able to go with that. But only 1.25 in terms of milliseconds off first there. Lance Stroll. Wow. So Lando Norris, 1:12.682, Stroll 6.84, Charles 6.85. 3 milliseconds separating the front 3 in that session. Piastri in the McLaren out, Behrman in the Red Bull out, and Checo in the Haas. P15, Haas have fallen off. Look at Yuki in the V-carb though, up in P6. Go on, Yuki lad. And a Williams through as well, Albon in P9. Wow. That's a real turn up for the books. Alonso being P10 is a surprise as well, but through, and will probably go significantly quicker in the next session. The next session that we are involved in. Across the line in Q3 then to do a 1:12.2 of my own. Second, unexpected, very welcome. P2 in Mexico on the grid. That has been a long time coming. That was a top lap. How far off pole was I in the end to Max Verstappen? 5 milliseconds. Can you imagine if I'd actually bagged it? Unbelievable. Just a teeny tiny squeeze of a bit of better traction out the last corner, and I may well have been on the front grid slot. I'm on the front row alongside Max, and I've out-qualified Charles for the first time, I think, ever? Maybe not ever, but certainly this season, I think. Unbelievable, Jeff! Well then, bring on this Mexico Grand Prix then. And before I get really hot tyres and fall backwards again, I hope not. Now tell me Max has taken a penalty, please, and I'll be very happy indeed if I do, in fact, start on pole.
Max Verstappen put
no, all right, fair enough. Oh, he's actually telling me...
And he'll start from
that's
pole
weird.
position.
It says...
Wood completes the front row.
You can't see because I'm in the way. It says 1.261 which is 5 milliseconds slower, but it said plus 004. Weirdly. Annoyingly, Leclerc doesn't take a penalty either. But we are ahead of all but one of our championship rivals then, at the beginning of this Grand Prix. Are we in with a shout of a Grand Prix win in a Ferrari for the first time in a very long time? Be the first time this season that we've won a Grand Prix, I'm pretty sure. First time since Qatar last season. We won in Vegas, we won in Qatar, we were P2 in Abu Dhabi. Might we be challenging for a win here? It depends what's going to happen tyre wear wise. Tyre wear is about bang on. It reckons a medium, hard. Everyone else in the top 13 is on a medium tyre. Everyone else in the entire grid, apart from Théo Pourchaire, is on a medium tyre. I will go medium, hard, medium. Thank you very much. And we will look to undercut a little bit on the first mediums, then probably still do a lap 48 stop on the hards, and then mediums at the end. That's pretty straightforward. That sums itself up quite nicely. We'll put exactly 100 kilos worth of fuel in the car. And, well, in theory, that should be a pretty straightforward two-stop to hopefully a podium at the very least. It has been a while since we've started this high up. I'm getting a bit of a nosebleed after qualifying. I'm more used to being 12th than 2nd on the grid, quite frankly.
Okay, so that's the rest of the grid forming up now.
I'm not used to waiting for the rest of the bloody grid either. Well, at least there's minimal cars to run into at turn 1. Well, Max had a poor start. We lead already. Unbelievable, Jeff. Ladies and gentlemen, a Ferrari's in P1, and it's not Charles Leclerc. I'm not in P1 anymore. I'm going to go deep on the brakes. Try and hold Max Verstappen or give him racing room on the inside. I'll have the inside line here. We are in front of the Mexican Grand Prix. Put your foot down, Chesnoid. Let's go. What a start. It helped that Max was very, very slow off the line, because Lando behind me was very much keeping pace with me. And it looked for a minute like Max was going to not make it to turn 1 even in the top 2, but Charles Leclerc still holds P3, Max still holds P2, and Lando and Alonso are battling quite hard behind now and dropped a little bit further back, almost 3 seconds the gap now back to P4 alone. We are going to have to battle hard though. It's going to be a lot of battery usage, battery saving, DRS usage and position swip swapping, because I've got quite a bit of downforce on the car now with this setup, and they are going to be faster than me in a straight line without any shadow of doubt. But that is the fastest lap of the session. DRS is now enabled, but nobody will be able to use any until the second sector this lap, because this first DRS zone is detected before the last corner, and the second, well, I'm actually having a look here, the second DRS zone is actually triggered by that first DRS zone, so you get 2 helpings of it. The 3 of us here might be able to disappear. I'm actually just trying to save some battery, quite frankly, here at the moment. But I don't mind going wheel to wheel for the time being, because I fancied myself around this part of the circuit to be able to maintain position. Fernando and Lando have been able to close back up because of our battling, but that's fine. Again, I'm just trying to save some battery so I can try and defend myself a little bit down the straights, but it's going to be easier said than done. Here is where they do have DRS now, but Max not able to get close enough to me to go for an overtake. I'm going to have a decent haul of battery for the straight, but I get the feeling it's not going to be enough. I'll power out of the final corner, but I've only got 3/10 in the bag at the minute, and Charles Leclerc and then Lando Norris just took fastest laps off me, one after the other. I've run out of battery, and here comes Mr. Verstappen, and there's nothing I can do about that for the time being. Like I say, position swip swapping at the beginning here. My teammates having a look as well, but we should have the pace to stick with and very much stay in DRS range of those around us.
You might experience some understeer
So
now that you're in the
I'm not worried at the moment, not worried at all. I'm wide there, that's not going to help. Then a bit of Swing in the back end as well. Max Verstappen was nearly 2 seconds faster than me on that lap. That's not great. Charles, come back! As long as we can stay in the DRS train, we'll be fine. We'll be absolutely fine. And the undercut on 2 occasions should hopefully help us challenge for the win still. But I am going to have to make sure I stay part of this front DRS train, which presumably will be Max, Charles, me, Lando and Fernando. I imagine the front 5 will be able to stick with one another. Might even drop the battery to none through this middle sector here. That was probably a bad decision actually, because now I've dropped out of DRS range of Charles Leclerc. Oh good, well done Ches, that was a good idea, wasn't it? Lando will have a look, but he's not gonna. It's fine. He's not problem, we will get it back. Lando will have a go now, that's fine. I'm not worried. Still not worried. Not worried at all. Rear left tyre, very hot. That's what I am worried about. We made a change to the setup in practice to try and adjust for hot rear tyres. It has not worked. Rear left, very hot, is something we butt our head against last season, and it seems it's going to rear its ugly head once more. I don't know what I can do to avoid getting hot rear tyres around Mexico, because I'm running an entirely different wing set and suspension setup to last season and having the exact same tyre temp issue. So, good. I don't know why they get hot.
Front is a second a lap faster, 1 second.
I don't know why they get so hot. Thanks, Lance. We completely changed the setup. It's an entirely different setup to one that I used last year, and I've got the exact same issue.
The Ferrari driver's just moved into first place.
So I'm at a loss, really, as to how to fix that. They say if you get hot rear tyres, put more rear downforce on. I put 15 ticks of rear downforce on, and I'm still getting hot rear tyres. If I don't have the issue with the hards, I might try and one stop.
Keep on him, he might make a mistake.
I have a funny feeling tyre temps will be an issue with the hards as well. They're not wearing very much. Even though they're hot. They're just fucking hot. You can't make a dart like that in the braking zone, Lance. That is fucking naughty, mate. Really naughty. It's going to use a bit of battery, and of course I don't have great traction because I've got hot bloody rear tyres.
Okay, gap to the car ahead, 3.5 seconds.
Guess what, Lance? Screw you, mate. Lance will come past again. There's nothing I can do. Other than just try and lose as little time as possible.
Okay, we've lost a position. That's us down a place.
There's nothing I can do. Bear with. Causey, thank you very much for the 3rd month, mate. Appreciate it, dude.
Caution, caution.
Oh, yellow flag. Charles retiring. Whoa! Charles Leclerc is out. And I just lost 2 positions to the Mercedes by trying to look at Charles Leclerc and not concentrate where I was going. And Lewis Hamilton locked up. And we gain one of those positions back again. Bet my tyres are on fire now.
Charles has dropped out of the race.
He has indeed. Well, it doesn't open the title challenge up. If anything, it just means that those that I'm trying to catch are going to get even further away from me, but it is what it is. Because they're going to get more points. George did it as well. In the braking zone, they move over and then move again. It's just so naughty. It's not even a proper move, it's just a little like jink, so you do that.
0.6 seconds.
It's P7. If we can pull off the one stop and the hard tyres don't overheat, then we're still in this fight. But only if the hard tyres don't overheat. And quite frankly, I am fully expecting them to do exactly the same as the mediums. I'd be interested in a Damon Hill documentary. It was defensive. Me around the outside, me up the inside, me through.
Good job, nice overtake.
A little bit squirrely on the exit there, but got it done. If we didn't have the tyre temp issue, I'd go as far as to say that a win here was pretty much guaranteed and in the bag. I'm that confident around here.
Okay, the pit window's open, so let's box this lap. Box this lap.
No!
Gap to the car in front, 9.9 seconds.
We are plan B, plan B. Lando might be one stopping as well, you know. He's still going. I'm going to ask about Lando.
Lando's ahead of you now. Okay, gap to the car in front, 15.0 seconds. They're on old mediums. Their tyres are 24 laps old. We think they've got one more stop.
Yeah, Lando's one stopping.
Lap, 1:17.0. Come on, mate, you're down by 0.8 a lap. What have you got?
Nothing's what I've got. Nothing. Leave me alone. Lando one-stopping, though, is intriguing. He and I are going to be the only one-stoppers, I think. Although Piastri and Tsunoda are still going. Both McLarens might be on a one-stop, you know. For a set of hard tyres that we are praying to high heaven don't overheat. Otherwise, misery times 2. In we come. Okay, hard tyres, please. And a decent pit stop, for Christ's sake. Thank you, gentlemen.
Let's go, come on. Perfect job on the turn in there, mate. Looks like a nice stop time. We're happy with that one.
Free air would be nice to come out into. I am not going to. We come out in a lot of traffic here. Hamilton and Gasly have undercut me.
Up to speed now. Let's get some heat into those tyres.
We're going to be able to come out in front of... No. Hello. P16 is where we've come out then. Operation Don't Overheat Your Tyres begins again. There's a real train for me here. Hamilton is stuck behind Zhou Guanyu right now. Why Hamilton is stuck behind Zhou Guanyu, I don't know. He is. I need to get through this train if possible. I've been trying to manage my tyre temps at the rear so that they don't get too high in the early stages of this stint. It's costing me heaps of actual race time, unfortunately. Hamilton is now past Zhou. I don't know why he was stuck there in the first place, but it is what it is. I really need to get past this lot now. This is going to be race critical. Need to try and go with Lewis if I can. I'm not going to be able to now because it's going to be far too far down the road by the time we get past this train. you're going to go for it into this turn? Ricciardo around the outside, maybe? God, they broke very early there. And again. This is just pain. This is more painful than having overheating tyres at the minute. Going horrendously slow, gentlemen.
If you think you can get past, make use of the overtake button and see what you can do.
Oh, God damn it. Jesus, so. Dart left, will ya? Christ. You see that then? Just swung back into the rear. And he's boxing as well. Mother. Good. Well, we're 12th. Woo! At least we don't have overheating tyres. There is that. Hello, Ollie. I'm still here, Ollie. Don't hit me, Ollie. Thank you, Ollie. I think Albon might be boxing again, or he might be going to the end.
For that position. Okay, gap to the car ahead, 1.0 seconds. Okay, they're on fresh hards. Okay, they've done 10 laps on those tyres.
Yeah, I think we're going to the end. Oh no, he's got one more stop. He has got
Your
one more
last
stop.
lap time, 1 minute, 17.8.
Sainz is in the box. Piastri's in the box. So we're back into the points. So far, no tyre temperature issues with the hards, so I'm happy-ish. Wish I'd started on the hards, now knowing this information, but it is what it is. Now, everyone in front of us, other than Lando, Fernando, and someone else. In fact, it might just be Lando and Fernando. Everyone in front of us other than Lando and Fernando. Oh, and Alex Albon in front of me. No, we know Albon, he's pitting again. So it's just me, Lando and Fernando that are one-stopping. You can see the gap that Lando has over me. He's coming into the last stadium section now. And then Fernando in third is there in front of the Mercedes, which will have to box again. But when they do, they will be incredibly quick on brand new medium tyres with pace that I'm absolutely not going to be able to match. So I just have to hope that I have enough of a gap over them when the time comes, that I can maintain distance. Team want me to come in again, but obviously we know that we're going to try and go to the end, but we can't tell the team that. We are plan Bing. Excuse me, Alex. Thank you. That's P9. Let's go chase after Ricciardo and Hamilton.
Keep going.
Right, now it's game on. Thank you for going defensive, Daniel. That makes my job a lot easier. Around the outside, thank you. One more tuck up behind Mr. Hamilton. Or at least try to, anyway.
Okay, good work. Great pass.
It's P8. First overtake for a little while, but we're on lap 44 of 71 now. We are getting through this Grand Prix.
Here's some information on Tsunoda for you. Okay, they're slowing down. It seems like there's some kind of problem with their car.
Doesn't bother me at all. My concern now is everyone else's pace at the end of the race. But everyone that's two-stopping effectively, their pace at the end of the race is going to be pretty electric. Just a case of whether we've got the pace on our worn hards to counter it at all. Max is in. The two-stoppers are boxing again now. I was hoping to get
information on Gasly. They've got an issue with their car. They're going to be slow.
That helps. I was hoping to get a bit closer to Alonso before the two-stoppers came in again. But they are in. So we're going to be up to P5 for now, with Stroll and Russell still yet to pit. So the chance of a podium is there. Oh, Alonso's gone hard. Alonso has two stopped. We know Lando is one-stopping. I expected Fernando to one-stop as well. He hasn't. Maybe means that Piastri will be two-stopping as well. But if one McLaren is one-stopping, you imagine the other McLaren is one-stopping. So the chance of a podium is maybe there. But we're going to have to be pretty good on our tyres.
Track in front of us,
and also pretty efficient with our management of the battery, and pretty clean in our driving as well. It's Russell in and Stroll in. Well, there, and Behrman from behind us too. Well, there's the P3.
Like you made easy work of that target. Let's try and keep that going right through to the end of the race. Okay, we're boxing this lap. Give us the best in lap you can.
No. Now we're going to be able to see soon the gaps behind us to those that are on the medium tyre. Well, actually, no, those that are on the hard tyre but on their final stint. I've got 12.7 seconds to Russell. Now we see how quickly that gap drops over the next 24 laps. If he closes by more than half a second a lap, then I believe our podium is probably done for. Please do not, George. I envisage that he will. Might be elbows out time with Piastri soon as well, which is not going to help. So I'd rather not get feisty with the McLaren and let the others just close up. Tyre temperature's still fine though.
Box now, please. Box this lap.
No!
Okay, keep an eye on that gap ahead, please. 15.9 seconds.
Piastri's rapid. Piastri behind is very fast. And George has taken a second out of me that lap. Alright, swish. Well, we're third at the minute. If we're third at the end, I'll gift 15 subs to the channel. A late safety car would make things interesting.
Okay, so gap to
because
the
I
car
bet
ahead,
slightly overheating medium.
Seconds.
Oh my god, Piastri behind me is retiring.
Green flag.
Thank you, Lord. That's, well, if you want to cause a safety car, Oscar, that'd be great. Lol, timing of that. No safety car as I'm talking about a potential, but there is a retirement behind me which eases some pressure. If there is a safety car at any point, I bet new slightly overheating mediums would be faster than my worn hards compared to everyone else's hard tyres. So I probably, even though we know we have a slight rear overheating problem, I probably would box for a new set of medium tyres under a safety car. At the minute, no sign of a safety car. At the minute, no sign of George Russell behind me, but that will change. He's closed 12.6 seconds to 8.2 seconds thus far, and is charging furthermore. Oh my god, George is so quick. He's going to overtake me anyway, so I might as well just try and, rather than him out DRS in 2 sections on me, I might as well have DRS in 2 sections on him. I'm now going to try and use George to help me defend against Fernando. It's probably not going to work that well. George, I'm not going to attack you, mate. Please just take me with you. 10 laps to go. So far, Operation Russell to Glory is actually not working that badly, you know. We have just enough pace with our battery usage as well to stick with George to have DRS through every section and maintain a 2.7 second gap to Fernando Alonso behind. Considering how horrifically this race could have gone, at least a P5 as a minimum here, I think, is very respectable. I have no doubts whatsoever that if we didn't have the overheating tyre issue on the mediums. But our two-stop strategy with a couple of undercuts would absolutely have held us in with a chance of a win. At the very least, a comfortable P3. In a minute, we're looking at a comfortable-ish P4, but I am going to have to make sure that I very much cling to the back of Mr. Russell. Coming through the stadium section for the penultimate time. Operation Russell to Glory has gone very well so far. Gap to Fernando has come down a bit, but not massively.
Push.
Dear George, I know you're using a lot of your battery this lap. I'm going to do the same, mate. Save some more here. Try and take him into the next. Oh, I got a bad exit. I need to take him here, really. I might have just failed it by George saving his own battery for this part of the lap. Oh man, I was certain I was going to get the podium, but George saved his battery right till the end, knowing that I was going to make a last gasp effort. Speaking of last gasp efforts, no, I'm way too far back. Oh, I thought about it. I was like, throw it, Ches, send it. It didn't happen. That could have been horrendous as a Grand Prix. We made a one-stop work tremendously. It would be P4 in the end.
Okay, pick up.
I think, I'm pretty sure that we would have challenged for the win without the overheating tyre issue, because we wouldn't have lost time at the beginning. We would have been able to undercut the first stop. We would have been able to undercut the second stop. And I'm sure we would have been faster than a one-stop Lando Norris. We would have been with Max Verstappen for basically the whole race, as we were with George Russell in the end of that stint. In the end, Russell to Glory doesn't quite work, but we'll take it. A P4 is better than we've had in the last 4 Grand Prix, so considering how Mexico went last year, I really shouldn't complain much at all, should I? Frustratingly, the two people that I stand the best chance of closing the gap to in the championship finished first and bloody second.